Fox 4's Stephen Dial spoke with the SBA Administrator.
SBA Administrator Guzman, thanks for taking some time to talk to us. Restaurants have been severely impacted during this pandemic. And I know in the relief bill and some other ways, funds have become available to help those businesses. Even though states like Texas are fully open now, businesses are still impacted. Talk about how this fund is very important to small businesses, which are the backbone of our economy.
We want to make sure that they can survive this pandemic, regardless of how extremely they were closed. Many of them had revenue impacts from the get-go. So the Restaurant Revitalization Fund is $28.6 billion in grants, not loans, to try to help the food and beverage industry broadly. And this is defined broadly as well in that it's restaurants, it's food carts, it's food trucks, it's bar rooms, as well as breweries and wineries. So it's a full spectrum of food and beverage businesses that we know have been impacted.
What mechanism is in place to make sure that the wealth is evenly spread, if that makes sense, as far as not just your larger restaurants or restaurant chains, which may have more employees and hence they may need more money, but making sure that it goes across the board to make sure that it covers all phases and shapes and sizes of restaurants.
And that's what's great about this program is that there are food carts, trucks, caterers that we know can access this program. While the grant size is large, $5 million per location, up to $10 million per entity with affiliates, we have $9.5 billion, as I said, set aside for smaller entities.
How far do you think this will help businesses? Do you think this fund will be the thing that gets them over the hump to hopefully this time next year, we're not talking about COVID as much, or COVID in a way that businesses will be able to kind of float on their own after receiving funding from this revitalization fund?
The most flexibility is what's ideal. And so we extended that time period for eligible use of funds through March 2023, the maximum possible, because we just don't know what those expenses are going to be over time that you need to be able to build to use for this grant program. So flexibility was key. We're hopeful that with the Shots in Arms campaign, the Biden-Harris administration, as well as just efforts to try to fight COVID-19, that we're going to be able to see some recovery. But nonetheless, we want our businesses to be prepared and be able to recover with relief in hand.
After funds are distributed, businesses will have to turn in an assessment form detailing an itemized account of what was funded. Stephen Dial, Fox 4 News.